Today, we'll be uncovering the truths when it comes to building a new construction home in Raleigh, North Carolina, and what it takes to go through the entire process from start to finish. Many families are choosing to buy a new construction home between the supply of resale homes being at an all-time low right now to competing for those homes along with builder warranties on a new home versus putting an upfront due diligence deposit on a resale home. They aren't sure what kind of surprises they may find during the home inspection, especially considering North Carolina is a seller state. Buyer Now, if you've ever built a new construction home in the past, you may be surprised at just how much it's changed over the years and even during and after the pandemic. So for many, there's pros and cons that go along with the new construction process. The good news, if you don't want to wait 4 to 6 months or even up to a year to build a home, most builders are now building spec homes. Now, what is a spec home? A spec home is a home that the builder designs and they pre-select everything from the flooring to the upgrades to the colors, the designs, everything that they think buyers would find appealing and ready to buy and move in to the home. Some buyers love this, while others miss the opportunity to go into a design center and make their own selections. Now, due to the continued supply chain issues, the builders have found it easier to shift away from this, and now there's even some builders that will give you a standard option or upgrade, say package A or B, just to keep things simple. Now, a plus side to buying a spec home is the price you see advertised is the price that you pay versus having to go in and factor in a lot premium along with the selections and upgrades. With a spec home, it's pretty much cut and dry. What you see is what you're gonna get. Now, at any given time, builders will have a few spec homes ready to purchase and move in within 30 days of them listing them for sale, or they'll have an estimated completion date within the system. So if you see a new construction home for sale, even if it has pictures online, it's not necessarily the house that's been built. You actually may drive by the address and all you're gonna see is a pile of dirt, as the builder just put up a rendition of a home that's previously been completed and that they're gonna build again. If you check with your realtor, they'll be able to look at the notes in the system for more information about the home and the completion date. And if you don't already have a realtor, I'd highly recommend getting one to represent you. As I did mention earlier, North Carolina is a seller state. Buyer beware. So that nice sales rep that you meet in the model homes actually represent the seller, which is the builder. And they should have you sign a working with a real estate agency disclosure and explain this information to you. Now, the good news is when you hire a realtor to represent you during the home process, the seller, which is the builder, typically pays the realtor's commission. So while you are also securing representation, they will advise, advocate, and negotiate on your behalf during the whole process. And if a spec home isn't singing to you and you want to go through the building process from start to finish and have the ability to choose your own floor plan with options and even colors, designs, the builder actually does release a handful of lots at a time and are on a first come, first served basis. While there are other builders who will allow waiting lists, and on occasion, if there is a popular community, they could even do a silent bidding process to secure a lot. And in the new construction world, not all lot cost the same price. The builder has lot premiums attached to each one. The more desirable will cost more, of course, as well as lots that need a crawl space versus a slab foundation. Now, these costs can range anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, while others can go $20,000 to $30,000. I've even seen some $50,000. So it's definitely not like the old days where there was no lot premiums. Things have definitely changed. The good news, your realtor can help you navigate through these options. Now, in late 2023, rolling into 2024, With rates being at a high level in comparison to the past few years, many builders have been trying to entice buyers to build with them by providing incentives anywhere from lower rates on selected homes offered through the builder's preferred lender if you finance with them, to paid closing costs. I've seen some ranging anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, and most recently, I've even seen up to $30,000 to use towards closing costs and rate buy downs. Some builders are even offering a refrigerator, a washer, dryer, or even blinds. Okay, let's switch gears here and go through the process of what it takes to buy or even build from the ground up on a brand new construction home. The first step is going to be to identify what your needs are in your new construction home. For example, are you looking for a single-story home, or will a two-story home work? Do you need your primary bedroom to be downstairs, or do you possibly need a first-floor guest bedroom with a full bathroom? Then there are some builders who are only going to offer electric stoves and above-range microwaves, while others offer built-in gas cooktops with a built-in wall oven and microwave. Now, depending on your preferences, you would then identify a builder and neighborhood that has those kinds of plans and options that are most important to you. From there, most builders now require a preset appointment to go and look at their floor plans, which will help you narrow down to the ones that you like. Now, once you ultimately find the builder and the floor plan that works for you, then we would pick out the lot that will accommodate the size of the house. Now, the on-site builder rep will have that information on hand to let you know if the home floor plan that you like will actually fit on your desired lot. From there, the price of the home will be broken down from the base price to upgrades, choosing designs if available. Next, you'll need to sign a builder contract, put down your upfront deposit. Now, this can vary builder to builder. On average, it's going to run you about 1% to 3% of the sales price. And while other builders will do a flat, say around $7,500 to $10,000. Now, once the builder receives your deposit and contract signatures, you're officially under contract. Let the building begin. Woohoo! Now, depending if you went with a standard builder or a semi or a custom builder, the next steps are going to vary. If you choose a builder who has already made all the selections for you, then you basically just sign the contract. The builder will have all the pre-selections attached to your contract, along with the pictures and the prices broken down. Now, if you choose a builder who allows you to choose the design selections on the spot, they will have selections at the model home for you to select. Some are as simple as selecting package options like A or B, while others will be selections A, B, C, or D. And then there's other builders who will actually have online selections that you can choose right on the spot prior to signing the contract and calculating your final home price. Now, many buyers like these options as the designers do the work for you, and pre-selections, which make it less stressful for you, and you don't have to take away time from work to actually go to the design center. Or even worse, end up selecting options that don't even match or look the way you envision they would, and then hating the final outcome of your new home. Finally, many semi-custom or custom builders still do have design centers, and the design consultant will contact you, set up an appointment, and you'll be able to come down and have a few hours to select items for your home, and then your home price will be adjusted according to your selections. Now, many builders will be able to tell you upfront what the price point average is that they see buyers spending. Now, personally, I've seen upgrades average anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000, while some can go as high as even $100,000 to $150,000 on higher end homes. Now, once the design center selections have been made, now the builder will start building your home, and things can seem a little quiet for a while. While other builders will actually send you pictures or quick live videos each week and each month, letting you know where they are in the build time, along with what things are happening now and next. Now, once the framing is complete and before the walls go up, you actually have the opportunity to get a pre-drywall inspection, and that's something that your agent can help order for you. Now, I always highly recommend this inspection to my buyers to make sure everything is up to par items aren't missing or done improperly. Now you gotta realize homes are built by humans and no one is perfect. And in all my years that I've been doing this, I have yet to see a home that was built that didn't have some items that needed to be corrected. From there, the builder will be provided with this home inspection, and then you'd be able to meet with the project manager to go through the house and not only walk through the pre-drywall inspection findings, but also walk through the home and make sure the lights are where they're supposed to be. I actually had one home that was missing the bathroom light, and our inspector pointed it out on his report, to making sure the fan pre-wire and internet ports are where they're supposed to be, along with any other modifications, especially if you made any adjustments to your floor plan, if they were an option. And if there's any items that need to be addressed, once these items are completed, they typically take pictures to show you they've been done, or you can also have the inspector come out and do a re-inspection. Now, once this step has been done, the builder will finish building the house and can usually give you a better timeline on completion, which is typically around 2 months or so. Now, once the builder knows when the cabinets will be in, they can tell you when the closing date is. Around 2 weeks prior to the home being completed, you'll have the opportunity to have a home inspection done as well as a radon test. Again, I highly recommend these tests be done to my buyers, as this is the time the builder is fixing most items that are called out on the inspection. And I've seen everything from simple items to larger ticket items. Things like the roof trusses that need an engineer certification, to leaking appliances or non-functioning units that need to be replaced. Recently, I've even had uneven floors that need to be leveled, and even crooked walls. Now, when it comes to radon, you'll want to check your contract, as some builders will remediate or give you a builder credit to have it remediated if levels exceed 4%, while others will not. As the building process comes to an end, the last steps will be attending the builder home orientation meeting. Prior to this meeting, you'll want to make sure that the builder has given a copy of the home inspection report so they can start addressing the items as soon as possible, and possibly have them completed prior to your home orientation meeting. Now, during this meeting, the builder will let you know everything about the house, from turning off the water main line to how the hot water heater works, where important contact phone numbers should be, where they are in case an issue should arise, to the warranty company phone numbers, how to register your appliances, and help answer any questions you may have. Now, the builder will also provide you with some blue tape, and you'll be able to go through the home, mark any flaws you may find, and that'll be anywhere from paint to baseboards, possible cracks or chips, anything that might be loose or missing. And finally, the morning of your closing, you'll also meet with the builder one more time just to make sure all the blue tape spots have been fixed, and make sure the repairs that your inspector have found have been fixed, along with any last minute questions you may have. From there, you're gonna head over to the attorney's office to go through the closing, where you'll sign your closing documents and get handed the keys to your new home. And then you get to celebrate. Woohoo! For some buyers, the new home buying process sounds pretty easy, or they've previously had a great experience buying a new construction home in the past, so they don't see the need to hire a real estate agent to represent them. However, I can tell you firsthand, unfortunately, there can be some complications and pitfalls during the new construction process, and at this point, I'd highly recommend everyone consider getting a real estate agent to represent you on your purchase. As previously mentioned, the inside sales rep you meet at the models represents the seller, not you. And the builders pay the realtors commissions in most cases. Now, when I say most cases, there are some builders that are starting to cut out the real estate buyer agents' commissions due to the resale supply chain being so low and buyers gravitating towards new construction. Now, these builders have decided to use this time as an opportunity not only to increase their housing prices, but to cut the real estate buyer agents' commissions, and say it's to cut their costs and to basically offload the commissions onto the buyer, which makes the house look less expensive. Now, personally, I suspect they're doing this to keep the buyer's agents out of the negotiation and inspection process. And when new buyers who have never bought a home before come into the model homes, they can unfortunately take advantage of these buyers who don't know their options. Now, there are a handful out there, and I know they know who they are, And I've even had conversations with them about this. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, they're doing it deliberately for their bottom line. So again, I'd highly recommend you hire your own representation to buy a new construction home, just like you would if you were to buy a resale home, as you benefit from having someone advise, advocate, and negotiate on your behalf through the entire process. And having an experienced and knowledgeable realtor in your corner will be able to help you navigate between reputable builders and ones that aren't so reputable, as well as guide you through the new construction home buying process. And an agent can also help advise on what upgrades add true value to your home versus the ones that would be more for your enjoyment, or if you're gonna be in your forever home, but wouldn't necessarily see a ROI when you sell in the future, like choosing a level 1 granite versus a level 8, or even upgrading to a custom paint color, which can run you thousands of dollars. And then you're financing these upgrades over the life of the loan, and these are things that a design consultant isn't going to advise you on. Then there's also the builder's contract. Each builder has their own version with slightly different verbiage and clauses that you'll definitely want to pay attention to. For example, earlier I mentioned that there was some builders that will remediate for radon while others won't. I've even seen contracts with 2-year build clauses at no penalty to the builder. So as a buyer, if you're locked into your rate, for instance, and it doesn't close on time and your rate lock expires, and then your rate goes up and it costs you more monthly, the cost is on you as the buyer and not the builder. Now, these are just a few examples where an agent can really be valuable and help you through the process, as many of the on-site agents that work for the builder don't go line to line on a contract. And I've even seen many just paraphrase a 40-page contract with disclosures and addendums in just 1 or 2 paragraphs. As a real estate agent who's been selling for years, I look through the contract and read every single line while the on-site agent tries to fly through it, and I have to stop them, ask some questions, certain explanations on different sections or amendments, and while some will even roll their eyes, sigh, or even do a nervous laugh. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some really great on-site agents. I personally know many of them and are even friends with some. But when it comes to making one of the biggest financial investments of your life, you'll want to be properly represented, from negotiating prices to design selection for ROI, to navigating home inspections, the advantages of hiring a buyer's agent who is generally paid their commission to represent you by the builder's marketing fund that they have set aside to pay commissions out of. Now again, there are a few exceptions to the rule for builders that have reduced their commissions or even zeroed out commissions for buyer's agents. You could potentially, depending on your agreement with your buyer agent, be on the paying in to pay all or part of those commissions if you want to buy that specific home from that specific builder. So while you'll find most builders are ethical, you get the idea that there are some builders out there that are not so ethical or above board. And they're just trying to get you to not have an agent because it makes it easier for them, especially for buyers that don't know what they're doing from the contract to the inspection process. I've heard of builders telling buyers they don't need an inspector, or they have their own independent inspector that comes in because it passes the city inspections, everything is fine, and just push you through the process and make it easy on them. But ultimately, it makes it less easy, as once you're already moved into the home and later you find issues while living there, or going to sell your home and getting the new buyer's home inspection and finding out the cost lies on you. The biggest one that I've seen multiple times are trust issues needing to be corrected and getting an engineer certification, which can get really costly. Then again, adding upgrades to a home that a future buyer is not going to be impressed to pay more, for example, that special level 8 granite. Then there's things just to be aware of, like if you're going to enjoy it, but you're not just going to know if it's going to add value to your home, unfortunately. Now, buying a new construction home can be fun, but it can also have some curveballs and become complicated to navigate. Based on my over 20 years in the real estate business, I actually have a few tips that I can share with you that will hopefully make the whole buying process less stressful and easier to navigate. First, find a buyer's agent prior to reaching out online or going into a sales office and visiting the builder's home sites. Now, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but as soon as you reach out online or inquire physically, walking in their doors, if you don't tell them that you have an agent and register the agent, and even if sometimes you hand them your agent's card that you're actually working with, the builder will inform you that you cannot get paid representation from the agent as they didn't come with you or register ahead of time. Again, they're trying to cut out the agent to make things easier on themselves. So please interview a few agents prior to new home shopping to find an agent that you like to represent you during the process. Second, you'll want to coordinate your schedule with your agent so that they can be with you during your visits, from shopping for a home to writing the contract to even visiting the design center if that's an option. Third, builders typically don't negotiate on the price, and this is due to not wanting to hurt the value for the buyers who previously bought their homes in the current or previous phases. However, as of the end of 2023 going into 2024, with interest rates at an all-time high from previous years, buyer's agents have actually been able to negotiate prices on lot premiums or certain spec homes, or even get some sort of seller concession and even upgrades like possibly blinds. Now, when shopping builders up front, your buyer agent will want to see if any builders are giving incentives. Currently, there's some builders giving a refrigerator, washer, dryer at no additional cost, which in effect is going to bring the cost down for you as a buyer. Fourth, when it comes to specific upgrades, it's best to get the builder to do certain ones during the process versus afterwards. For example, if you have an unfinished attic and you may want to turn it into an office or a bonus room, it's going to be less expensive if completed during the construction process than afterwards, hiring a general contractor. However, there are going to be some builders that are not offering this completion at the time of build, and you will have a better chance of it getting done up front if you're working with a custom builder versus a standard builder. And some examples of upgrades that you may want to consider afterwards, I know we previously mentioned them, can be anywhere ranging from upgraded paint colors to lighting fixtures, fans, and even hardware, which your agent can also help you navigate. Now, my fifth tip would be not to buy the most expensive home in the neighborhood with every upgraded bell and whistle in comparison to what the average home buyer is currently spending. Now, unless this is gonna be your forever home and you don't mind paying for all the extra amenities that you want to enjoy and aren't worried about getting your ROI back if you decide to sell your home in the future. Now, some buyers have done this and find they're not getting the price per square footage out of the house when it's time to sell. 6, prior to house shopping, make sure to get pre-approved for your comfortable price with some wiggle room along with your qualified price point. Now, nobody wants to live for their home. They want to live comfortably and enjoy some vacations. So once you're ready to buy, you can determine if you can live in a home that's within your comfortable price point versus your maximum price point, and go into things a little more thought out, planned to help lessen the stress of the home buying process. At this point, you can discuss this with your lender, whether or not you need to sell your home prior to purchasing, or if you can do a contingency offer, or maybe qualify without selling your home. Now, in the past, builders didn't accept contingencies. However, now you'll find many more are agreeable to them with certain stipulations and timeframes met. Now, personally, this year, I've gotten several under contract on new constructions with contingencies. 7th is going to be to discuss the pros and cons of buying a new construction home versus resale home with your real estate agent, and decide which is the best purchase for your ideal home and timeline. Now, there's a lot of moving parts to buying and building a new construction home, and with all the information I shared with you today, my hope is that you found this information helpful and it made you more prepared and aware of the process holistically. Now, again, there's some not so great builders out there, but there are a lot of great builders out there, along with their sales staff and project managers that want to help ensure a smooth build process from start to finish. At the end of the day, remember, in the state of North Carolina, this is a seller state buyer beware. So please find a buyer's agent to help guide you through the process and be your #1 advocate. If you found this information helpful, please click the like button below so others like you can find this information as well. And if you're considering building a new construction home or even purchasing a resale home within Raleigh or the surrounding area, we would love to help you. All you have to do is reach out to us. My number's right here on the screen. Whether you want to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, I would love to help. Till next time, we'll see y'all later.